I still have my DX4100. It's out of my workshop, but I'm kind of one of the things I'm wondering is if this core, I got to figure out. I haven't experimented with it all, but how easy it is to build hard drive images that have like my own games on it, and if that's easy, if this will replace. And you know, I say that I have Exodos with everything on it, so. You know, at some point, it's not about the accuracy anymore. It's about the space. You know, it's about the physical space. Let's see. I seem to remember this pot of gold, Excalibur. All right, I'm gonna leave this up to the chat. We've got Magic. We've got Jungle Pinball. We have Excalibur, Crash and Burn, Deep Sea. Any of those sound good? Magic it is. This was no Pinball Dreams, but it was a close second. Now, I think amigo Aaron just recently shared some news about. Tell me what brand the virtual pinball machine that you had on display there at Boat Fest, because I think he said that some other places, like Best Buy and some other places, are going to start carrying them, and it seemed to be a really nice table. I only got to play around with it for just very, very little, but. I don't know that I've ever owned a 3D video card, to be honest with you. At Games, yep, that's right. Target even, that's cool. I have Target and Best Buy near me. 3 times, right down the old gutter, right there. I'll just start. Hit the old tilt-a-roo there and get a little nudge to keep it out of that little. Nope, that doesn't work. So far, the magic seems to be keeping it out of that little slot there. Oh boy, that wasn't very magic. Oh man, that'd be awesome. You know what? So what price range are we talking about for that thing? You know, I wrote a program one time that would be basically a high score, a thing to track high scores, but for all my friends, and then it would be a web page. So you would just run it on a monitor, and it would check the web page that would have the like a database, you know. And I always thought it'd be really a cool idea, but really, I won't say a problem, but it all relies on people being honest. You know what I mean? But I mean, if it's among friends, you know, I think it would all be. It would be good, but I always thought that would be a cool idea. $700 for that pinball thing. If you like pinball and you don't want to work on a real pinball machine, which I think is key for me. Like I don't want to say I'm done working on stuff, but man, yeah, pinball's not. Good Lord, you see this? Pinball maintenance is not. That's not in my wheelhouse. Arcade games were bad enough. Whoa! Look at that save. So, what other tables, or like what style of tables can you put on it? Or I don't know how to ask, like VFX tables, or I don't know what format of tables it can play, or do they have to be for the MegaGames machine? I like, one of my favorite things about pinball is when you do so bad that it's like, just go ahead, go again. You did so terrible. You really did really bad. Not that time. Game over. Interesting. All right, let's try one more table. We'll do a few more things. I'm kind of having some fun here with the PC night. What is it? Oh, Toy Factory. I kind of remember this one. Yeah, boy, that's certainly the same era, isn't it, Dimension? Why does that music sound familiar? Never fails. Don't call me Gutterball Rob for nothing. Also for that time I sat in the gutter, but that's a different story. Oh, I got a flipper up top there. Little baby flipper. Look. All right, let's get it over there. Boom. Hey. Flipper's so wimpy. And then all it does is get it to go right down the gutter. I'm doing that one again. Oh man, so that's like everything. I'll try this table again. You remember how exciting that graphic was? Just when the pixels would explode and you're like, wow. Alright, there we go. Do you remember the first time? I always thought pinball was like, I thought pinball was the equivalent of pachinko. I know, I'm terrible at pinball. I'm terrible at visual pinball, or virtual pinball. I remember the first time I watched somebody who actually knew how to play pinball, and I was like, oh, there's strategy to this. You're not just randomly hitting the flippers over and over. Get up in there. Can't quite get it in that thing. There we go. Oh. Rejected. Alright, we're gonna go this way. Oh, so close. Do it again. Oh, no. Yeah, pinballs are just such maintenance hogs. I mean, I know Aaron's got a few tables he could probably tell you. But I remember. Well, I went to an auction one time, and to buy arcade games, and they said, "Hey, there's a Kiss pinball table coming up soon," and I was like, "Oh man, I like Kiss, I like pinball. This would be cool." And I couldn't get close enough to the auction to see the action that was going on, but I could hear the bidding, and it got up to, I think, $600 something, which I thought, that's reasonable. I mean, this is many years ago. And then when I got up there and looked, it was like a box of pinball parts. It was like like Kiss pinball pieces in a box that was $600. And this is when, at this auction, I had bought working machines for $50 or $100, and so I was like, yeah, I don't think that's probably for me, And I remember when a friend of mine was selling I remember my buddy Rob Sherwin bought the Tron machine when it was new, and he bought the Tron Deluxe, and I want to say it was about $8,000, and I was like, I have 30 arcade games. And if I sold all of them for what they were worth, I couldn't buy one new pinball table. It was so ridiculous. And the used market. I mean, if you didn't missed, if you didn't get in back in the day, it's over. Come on. I saw many pinball machines that needed work go for $3,000-$4,000, and it's just, not for me. And I think it's like owning a classic car, where there are people that like to drive cool cars, and I get it, and I'm one of those people. I had a WRX STI for I say a long time, for 4 years, and that thing was a blast. And I never did anything. I changed the oil and I changed the tires on. That was it. That's my level of enjoyment at my age, not crawling around on the ground doing stuff. And I think if you want to own real pinball tables, it's not just you don't just like playing pinball. If you like playing pinball, you sign up for a pinball league and you go somewhere and play pinball. But I think you have to enjoy the process. I watched a guy who was talking about woodworking one time right when I got my workshop built. He was talking about woodworking and the myths. It was like the top 10 myths about woodworking, and one of them is that building things out of wood was cheaper. And he said, no. He said, it's not faster and it's not cheaper. I mean, it can be, but he said, a lot of times I spend more money building something than if I were to just go to IKEA and buy it. But the thing is, I end up with, the exact thing that I want. But more important than that, I enjoy the process, and that you have to enjoy that process. And so I think that's kind of what pinball is, especially in the home.